And what's going on, everyone? Cybernox here. Welcome back to the channel. Today was a big day. JMO Money, welcome to the chat, buddy. How you doing? Big day. We had the Xbox Game Showcase event, and we're here to talk about it. Yes, sir. We are here to talk about it. I'm extremely hyped. And to help me discuss the show, break down the show a little bit, and give you our thoughts, I have with me incredible panel. And making her debut, Winter Maiden, here as well. But let's start off. Let me introduce one a returning member. Helped me out here a couple of times now. CottonMcCast, how you doing, sir?
Doing good, man. Good to be back. Always a pleasure. This show, a lot of news. I'm excited to get into this, and it's always cool to be back with Tempest. And welcome, Winter Maiden. Exciting.
Absolutely. And also making his return, helped us out last time with the UB Forward Tempest Sun, my multiplayer partner that got me my first quad win. How you doing, sir?
That's me. Yeah, I'm doing good. Xbox has no games.
Yeah.
You can't say that anymore.
Hey, no way.
Just don't even go there.
Yeah, exactly. And like I spoiled the surprise. That it's my third time hosting, so I got to get all the kinks out before I get this, down to the wire like some of these, let's say, veterans that have been doing this for a long time. But making her debut, a very special guest. Pleasure to introduce everyone to Winter Maiden. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Very good. Okay, well, thank you so much for coming. The showcase is going to start right here in 1 minute. We can see the video in the background. So while it's starting, did everyone catch the pre-show?
I did, yeah.
Okay, so on the pre-show, they showed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, and then they had the ID on Xbox game reel. What did you guys think of some of those games? Are any of you guys interested in Dragon Quest?
Yeah, I'll go. I'll raise my hand.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest floored me because I thought, in the future it might be a possibility, but that's just one of those things that, as an Xbox fan, it sucks you just can't enjoy it because it's never been there. And then all of a sudden, just like that, we're getting like the definitive edition. It's like, oh my God. So that happened, and then right afterwards, the Exomech. I was like,
Exomech.
Exomech,
yes. Yeah, man.
Like 2 games and just the pre-show. I was like, well, today's a good day for me. Like, I was legitimately happy after that. I was like, I'm good. I'm so happy. I mean, I was tickled to death from just those 2 announcements. So yeah.
Oh yeah. VJ, what's going on, buddy? Welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Winter, Miss Maiden, I'm gonna say. Did you? Are you a Dragon Quest fan at all, or?
I never played the original, but I love DBZ and I love Square Enix, so mix the 2 together.
Yeah, sounds like a good combination, right? What about you, Cotton? I never played a Dragon Quest either, so.
Yeah, no, I've never played it. I've heard of it, and DBZ and Square Enix. The way it was presented, it immediately reminded me of Kakarot, just like the way it looked, the way the little mini map looked, kind of. It looked interesting, looked fun. It was a good show for the pre-show for sure.
Yeah, I think out of those, so I'll just name. I'll name them real quick. It was Dragon. Did I name them already? I did, right? Or no, I just said how many games. So the games that were shown were Dragon Quest, Exomecha, Watch Dogs Legion. A little bit more about that. Echo Generations, Hello Neighbors 2, and then the Ideal Game Reel, and then is it Balan Wonderworld? I believe that's Wonderworld. Yeah. So out of all those games, the one that caught my attention was Exo Mecha. I thought that game, it was like right up my alley. First person shooter. You got reminded me of Bright Memory. I was just like, oh yeah, let's go. This looks awesome. It's got Transformers all the way around. Anybody else?
Transformers vibe.
Oh man, it had like that dragon spitting fire at the end. I was just like, geez, okay, I'm sold. That's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Thought it was cool.
Yeah, you thought it was cool too. What was your? Did you watch the pre-show, Maiden?
Yeah.
You did.
Yep.
What was your game of the pre-show?
Shoot. I'd probably say Balin, but that's just more like my
Okay.
game type.
Yeah.
You know, the cutesy, like, I thought that looked interesting. But I like the mecha too, because my son's really into him. Jason, our Tempest is really into him. So that caught my eye as like, oh, that might be fun for them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely.
What was your game of the pre-show?
What about you, Tempest?
Yeah, I think the most important announcement was Dragon Quest. That's also Game Pass as well, by the way. And so the fact that I never bought Dragon Quest 11, it's like, good, I waited.
Oh yeah.
But no, that Exo Mecha. I mean, at some point I was just like, this is a developer who doesn't care about trying to have a lot of finesse or try to be too artsy fartsy. They literally just put a game where you're like mecha people fighting and there's giant mechs with swords and shields and metal dragons and stuff. I'm like, thank you. They just didn't care. They took all the cool stuff you can think of and just crammed it into one game. And I was like, that's awesome. And it looked like it played well too. It looked good. So yeah.
It reminded me of Escaflowne with the mechs but swords and shields as well. So I feel like anime ties in.
Yeah. Anybody watch Escaflowne?
No. Sorry. Never.
It's a classic. Yeah, look into it. You'll be like, oh yeah, I see what she's talking about.
For sure.
Kyle, how about you, man? What was your game of the pre-show?
Definitely the Exo Mecha looked the most up my alley.
Right.
Yeah, same page. It reminded me of when they showed Bright Memory. I got the Transformer vibes. I was sitting there watching it at work, and my coworker was watching it with me. And we were both like, "Are those Transformers?" At the same time, I was like, "This looks pretty tight." I was surprised to see that at the pre-show, honestly, but that's what caught my eye. The other games look pretty cool. It's cool to see those two creators, the guys that helped made Sonic, to come back for the Wonder World. So I mean, that looks interesting to me too as well.
All right, that's cool. So what do you guys think about Jeff Keighley's Summerfest show? Him and his panel, everybody talking about it. Did you guys think it was anything interesting? Do you think he had anything to say? Tempest, what do you think?
I appreciate I appreciate what he does for the industry, because he does do a lot. He keeps things moving. He has the only like real games awards show. But I personally do feel like the guy, he honest to goodness can't hide his bias, and I think in his position he should try to be as unbiased as he could be.
Yeah, I agree.
And just do your homework a little better, man. Like, none of these people knew anything. I think a few of them never even played Halo, and Halo was obviously supposed to be the big draw to this show. And at some point, I'm just like, gosh, man, he could have. Not that he would, but he could have dug for two whole seconds on Twitter or YouTube and just typed in like Xbox YouTuber and came up with somebody better than what he did.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a little frustrating. So. But whatever.
What about you, Maiden? What do you think? Do you think he did a fair job for Xbox compared to PlayStation?
Yeah, I think he. I kind of agree with Jason. Most of my thoughts are in line with Jason.
Similar,
yeah. But he did all right, and like Jason said, he didn't hide his bias, which for somebody who's in a position like that.
Yeah, sometimes when you're in that type of position, it's just a little weird when they're clearly okay, like everybody knows which platform I prefer, so I don't even have to hide it anymore. But what about you, Cotton, man? What'd you think?
Yeah, like Tempest said, it's pretty like-minded here too. I do appreciate him. I remember just watching like G4 and all these things on Spike back in the day about just all the game stuff that used to be on TV, and the way that he's helped support the industry is, I appreciate that for sure. But he's a fan, and he's a fan of Sony, and it shows through a little bit. His panel was not super educated on just like everything. It was cool to see Lana Pierce on there. She's definitely was the most familiar person on there for me, but I didn't mind it. It's cool. I mean, there was a pre-show. I don't think Sony had a pre-show at all. So for me, that was cool just to get a little bit more.
Yeah, me too. Same here. So let's get to the main show. And they started off with Halo. Did any of you guys expect them to start off with any other game except Halo? I thought they should have. Personally, I thought they should have maybe ended with Halo.
Yeah,
but
by that.
Yeah, I thought maybe Halo. Go ahead, Maiden. What'd you think?
Oh, sorry. No,
it's okay.
Jason was asking. He's like, "Is this gonna be Halo?" To myself, I was like, they wouldn't start off with something so big. I thought, like you said, they'd end it, but I mean, it was still cool because they also had a big ender as well.
Oh yeah. I did think that what we're seeing now, the way that they obviously it's like Cortana. Maybe is it like Cortana? Building him a suit of armor. I thought that them building or manufacturing the suit of armor, I thought that was like a perfect intro to it. But there's something about that art style, the cinematic art, the cutscenes. That's something that doesn't. I'm not there yet with the cutscenes. Gameplay, once it switches from that cutscene to gameplay in your first person and you're in that Halo world looks great. But that cutscene between him and, did we ever catch that guy's name? The pilot's name?
I don't know it.
I don't think so, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Him and the pilot, there's something about that art style that's not vibing with me. I don't know what it is. But Cotton, what'd you think about them starting with Halo, man?
Oh man, it was on Boomstick XL's Mr. Boomstick's show yesterday, because we did like a kind of prediction show. I was on the fence of it either starting off with Halo or Forza, and I kind of thought they would start off with Halo because I figured they'd try to do like it makes sense for them to end it, but they've marketed it so heavy, like all the countdowns, and everyone knew like for facts that this was going to be there. So I figured it'd be somewhat towards the middle or the beginning, but I don't know, it looked good. I was, to be honest, a little underwhelmed with what they chose to show, but I do think the opening cutscene where they're building the armor was really cool. I love the style of the armor and just the way that you end up on the Halo and they step out there, and that transition from into first person, like you said, like it was pretty seamless. But yeah, I don't know if we ever caught that dude's name. He maybe in the other trailer they showed off before, was it at E3 last year, where it's like the first time you saw that guy in Chief?
I still don't know if they showed his name, or said it. But
yeah, I'm not positive. I don't know. I'm on board for Halo always, but I was expecting a little better of like a set piece, I guess, for what they showed.
Yeah.
To be honest.
How about you, Tempest, man? What'd you think?
Yeah, it was always going to be at the beginning or the end,
Right.
one or the other. And I'm happy with it being in the beginning. Are we expressing our feeling like on the game, or just about where it's placed in the show?
We can talk. We can mesh it all together. What'd you think about them starting with Halo, and what'd you think about the showcasing of Halo?
The way it started, it didn't take super long to realize that it was Halo. The beginning cinematic it hit me in the feels. It was awesome, and then going into the gameplay, I was expecting this show. The one thing I thought I was 100% sure on was this was going to be like the best looking game I've ever seen. I was worried about the gameplay. What ended up happening is the gameplay absolutely blew me away. I cannot wait to play this. The gameplay looked perfect, to the little slide into the jumps. I mean, I can just see that being incredible feeling. Multiplayer, the mantling up on stuff. It looks like the grapple. You can grapple it looks like you can grapple anything. I'm sure there's going to be some physics tied to it and how that works.
Right.
There is new gameplay stuff they've never done in Halo. Some of the stuff from Halo 5 was rather ripped out gameplay wise, or they just didn't show it. You know, like some of
Right.
the that's some of the charging and some of the dashes and stuff like that. But gameplay, it looks like the weapons. It looks like there's more recoil in this Halo than ever before, which is a good thing. Every weapon looked like it hurt.
Yeah, you can feel the weight behind them.
Oh, for sure.
Really,
Yeah.
really good. Yeah, and melee has always kind of. It's going to sound weird because Halo was one of the first shooters that really put an emphasis on like melee, but and melee and Halo never really felt impactful. It felt like there was a 500-pound dude in like 1,000-pound suit meleeing somebody. It felt brutal in this one. And so everything gameplay wise, I literally think was perfect. Like I think they nailed it. The reminiscent shot of Halo opening up like that. There's a world map now, like picking where you want to go. So gameplay wise, I've never been more excited to play Halo ever in my life. And but graphics wise, honest to goodness, it's a mixed bag. I don't know what happened. And it's kind of funny because now there's some extra material that they came out with, like on Twitter or some websites. There's literally some comparison shots of some of the newer clips that they showed of that one gun from the Brutes. It's like the little like shotgun pistol thing.
Yeah.
There's a comparison shot of the Mauler. Yeah, there's a comparison shot of what we saw today and then next to it, and the one next to it from the newer material had more texture. It had more like grime on it. It just looked better. So I'm just like, I don't know if this is a COVID thing. I don't know what this is, but like
it's I kind of want to go back to and watch the 4K 60 footage too when I got a chance. I've only watched the 1080p 60.
Right.
But Maiden, how about you? Are you a Halo fan? What'd you think about them? What'd you think about the Halo showcase?
She might
be muted. She might be away.
Might be dealing with the baby, maybe.
Okay. I for one, I thought they didn't show enough of Halo. I think.
Yeah.
I thought they could have shown a little bit more, maybe going into a little bit more depth. They did show, you just going, you drive the Warhog a little bit. Yeah, they showed pretty much the scale of this world, right? When you're riding up the elevator, he's just looking how big. You see the mini map. I like the way the mini map worked too, with the 3D elements and things like that.
Yeah.
But you can see how traversal is going to work with that grappling hook too, right? I can already picture, some hidden skulls somewhere where you're going to need that grappling hook for you to go and get them. But I also thought that the gameplay looked solid. It reminded me, it looked like it was tight shooting. I like the enemies. I like the way how the Banish came down on those pods, and you had to literally like break off their armor first. And as their armor's coming off, then you're hitting them with damage.
They also reacted. Like I haven't seen a game do that in a while, where they actually react when they're getting shot. I was like, man, that used to be like a big deal back in the day, Yeah. So I'm glad that was there. I was like, oh snap.
It was cool to see the armor breaking off of them.
Man, it looked awesome.
Classic to like when you're fighting them in like Halo 2, trying to knock off their helmets, and then they start charging you, get all. Then that rage brute mode.
Yeah, I think it just showed it too. Even one of the elites, when his shield pops, it literally breaks off of him, which I thought was kind of cool. Like you see the particles effect. I thought that was well done. But man, Halo. I just what'd you think about Atriox when they showed him how he looked? You got Tempest. You played Halo Wars, right?
Yeah, I actually started playing Halo 2. I've seen the most important part about Atriox, where he takes out the Spartans.
Yeah. And does he look similar to it?
That wasn't actually Atriox.
That was not Atriox. That was one of his. Okay.
Yeah, so it's somebody else, but I mean, a big brute, and he's going to fill that role just fine. It looks like that. Also, graphically, that's one of the things that most people are picking apart is the way, one, the brutes look, and two, that brute at the end here. In fact, you're showing him on the video. Yeah. It just, his face kind of looks like really smooth, and it's a brute. So if anything, it shouldn't look like that at all,
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. Maiden
Yeah,
is
no,
Maiden
it's
back
cool.
or?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Okay. Yes, that's all right. Oh, what'd you think overall about Halo? Are you a
Oh,
Halo
I'm
fan or
excited.
no?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's one of the first games I was able to sneak over to my cousins and play.
Yeah.
um, no, but I love the Halo series, so I'm definitely excited. It I thought it looked awesome. I loved all the new like game like fight mechanics that you could do now, so I'm
Hmm.
definitely looking forward to doing that. But like Jason said, it's a mixed bag as far as like the graphics go. Because watching it, you saw some like the clouds in the background were kind of doing pop-ins, and I mean it's not as bad as some games where things pop in like right next to you.
Yeah.
But it kind of stood out to me, so I was a little disappointed in that. But overall, I think it looks fantastic.
Nice, nice. Yeah, same here. I'm excited to play this Halo. I think they Nightwolf asked a question in the chat, and I'm gonna answer it now. He says, "Do you guys feel like they held more back from Halo Infinite for later story, multiplayer, battle royale?" Yes. Today, I think they're holding a lot back. I think they are going to expand this world, and there's a lot of things that maybe they can't show because it's maybe something you have to do after the campaign. But yeah. For I thought it was a good start, and they showcased it well. I just thought they could have expanded that a little bit longer. But do you guys think they held anything back? Kyle, what'd you think?
Oh, I think they definitely held back a lot. Honestly, there's
Yeah.
going to be a bunch to this game. Obviously, Halo always has multiplayer, your Forge, your Theater. If they do some sort of battle royale mode, that would be pretty interesting for Halo. Honestly, the gameplay looks amazing. I didn't touch on that when you how you guys did. I think it looks great. The grapple hook will be cool.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just I don't know. They definitely held back on just the story and whatnot. That guy is not Atriox, but he's definitely one of his like lieutenants or whatever. I think this specific cut, like where it's at in the game, is later on, because I mean Chief's just in space and he already knows about the Banished and the
Mm-hmm.
rings exploded. I think this is probably a bit into it where maybe because he says something along the lines of like we're fighting for like the vision of Atriox or something like that. So like maybe there's some sort of big scene in the beginning with where they encounter the Banished, like with Locke, and then that part of the ring gets destroyed. You know what I mean? I think there's a
Yep.
lot to this that is missing, and it'll be exciting to see it. I know they said something about more coming out at a later date. I don't know if it'll be August or at what is it, the Xbox con that they do. I forget what it's called, but I don't
Yeah.
know. I was pretty I'm an all around Halo fan, so I'm excited either way. I wanted to see more. I was hoping to see something like the cut that they showed when they announced Halo 2 back in the day, where he's going through the city and you have like this more. It's more epic because this is just kind of giving you a feel of like the scope and the scale of like how big it is, but there wasn't anything like super exciting that happened for me. The
Right.
people were picking it apart for like the pop-ins and stuff like that and the textures. And Tempest is right. There's the trailer that Halo, the YouTube page, put out that is like cuts of this of what you saw, but there's like you got the battle rifle in it, you have the energy sword in it. It looks better. I watched this whole show back in 4K and it does look better even, but the trailer that they put out after the show looks way better. So it's got to be some sort of COVID situation. Obviously, when they started up this part of it, it was like a press start to start the demo. So who knows how long ago they recorded this
Right.
part, that version of the demo. So it's interesting that they chose to show it off in this light, considering that it's like so far along. But I think it looks good. I'm excited for Halo every time I see it. So
Do you guys think Atriox makes an appearance in this game?
I think he does. Yeah,
I think he
at the
does.
end. Yeah, I think once you take out this general or whatever, Atriox will be forced to come and play. That's what I think.
Anybody else on Halo? Anything else? Maiden? Anything else?
Yeah, I
No?
think I said my piece about it.
Okay. So
Yeah,
overall, oh, go ahead, Tempest. My bad.
Yeah, just real quick. I just that question too. If they're like holding something back, I
Yeah.
think they barely showed us anything
Yeah,
about the
anything.
game, like
Yeah, I
literally
agree.
anything. And you are right. Your original statement is you feel like they could have showed more, and I think that's what we were expecting.
Hmm.
There's so many questions I have about the show in general, and part of how they revealed Halo is one of them as well. Like, I don't know what they're waiting for. I really wish we had a good old fashioned E3. I think that's part of
Yeah.
the
Yeah, me
problem.
too.
Yeah.
And when you
So
think about it, we're halfway through the year here. They're running out of time for a holiday release. Like, what are we doing? You know?
Yeah, seriously.
mhm,
I was
mhm.
hoping
Yeah.
for like them to drop more of what they announced into these demos that they have on the dashboard right now. I was like, when I
Yeah.
saw it press start to play this demo, I was like, yes, like please drop this onto the dashboard. Like, why not? Like, give us
Oh
something.
yeah. Uh
You know
huh.
what I mean? But it is what it is. You gotta
Yeah.
wait a little bit more.
Well, they ended up showing off 22 games, I believe I wrote down,
Yeah.
and well, I would say 21 because Hellblade didn't really make a showing. You know, they
Right.
said, "Hey, come watch our documentary that we're making on our YouTube channel," which I haven't checked out yet. If somebody has, please let us know how it is. But the game they showed right after Halo is very dear to my heart. State of Decay 3. Can I get a round of applause, please? Thank
Yeah.
you.
Absolutely.
Yes, let's go.
It was yep.
Woo.
Courtney was watching me, and I was like, "What is this?" We were looking at it, and it was intense, and
I had no
just
idea.
I had no clue, no
My biggest
clue.
surprise of the show was easily State of K3.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if that's obviously that was a CGI trailer, which is the complaint going around. I get it, but it's supposed to give you the tone, the mood, what they're going for, and as long as they have the budget and the talent there, if that's what they're going for, it's a drastic shift to what it's been, and I am 1000% for it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, me too. Maiden, you're a fan of State of Decay?
Yeah, in a weird way, because
Okay.
Tempest will tell you I do not like zombies at all. So
Did you play the first and second one or just the second one?
I think she's doing.
Technical definitely. It's
Yeah,
just going in and out. Gotcha.
Yeah, she did play the second one. That
Okay.
what her point is. She really does hate zombies. I can't get away with watching anything with zombies in it. She just like looks at me like I'm stupid. So she really doesn't like zombies. But
Yeah.
she saw the gameplay mechanics, and her and I played State of Decay 2 together a lot.
Oh
She
man.
absolutely loved it, and she hates zombies. So that's saying a lot.
It's
That
yeah.
game can sink its hooks in you.
It's more the survival aspect of it, right? It's like, oh man,
Right.
the permadeath. Like you just
The
build your
permadeath.
character. Oh man,
Mhm.
I think we talked a little bit about it too.
Yes.
Cotton man, what'd you think?
I was super surprised. I mean, I kind of started to get the vibe of it. I was like, what could this be? Is this a compulsions game at first? Is this State of Decay? It's like it seems kind of soon for State of Decay, but and then it was, and yeah, the cinematics looked amazing. It looked so good.
Yeah.
I already said this, but easily that was the most surprising to me. I really was not expecting to see that at all. It's interesting that they kind of showcased it as like that character being off by themselves as opposed to and two. It's like that when they showed it off, I feel like it was like the 4-player thing. So if they're going for more like I don't know what their approach is to this, but it looks definitely way more AAA, and I want to play it already.
Yeah.
Honestly,
So
the permadeath is super a big part of why I really like State of K2.
so did you like the more realistic art style? I think
Yeah, I did.
you did. Okay. I people give State of Decay 2 like a little bit of slack because of the way it looks, like not realistic. But I think it's got pretty good graphics, even though it's not realistic. I think they do a pretty good job. But I hope they can, oh man, deliver. If they deliver that State of Decay with what we're expecting, 4-player co-op or even more people
Right.
in a realistic setting, and if that's not just a CG, that's actual, let's say, quote unquote gameplay graphics. Oh my god.
that's why
Yeah.
it's one of the first things I said. I told Jason, like, she doesn't look completely hideous.
Right.
That's always been my biggest gripe with State of Decay. Like, all their people look terrible.
Yeah. Even when she screams, like at first when I was watching, because I was watching it at work, and I didn't see the wolf up top, right? Like I hadn't seen the wolf's eyes, and then after I saw it again, and I saw it, and then that's what she's screaming at, and I was like, even the way she screams, like you can see her facial animations. I was just like, oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Serious.
there's something's going down, and I had no idea. I was like, "Is this like a maybe a surviving in the wood post apocalyptic?" You know, it said State of Decay. I was like, "Get out of here!" Yes, looked amazing.
It makes me. This still has to do with Undead Labs because one of the people everybody thought wasn't going to be there was Undead Labs. Everybody thought there's just like no way they were going to be ones that's there. It just got me to thinking, how many of the studios did we not see? I think he said we saw 9 out of 15.
Yeah, that's what they said, was 9 out of 15.
So there is a lot left that they can show, haven't shown. I mean, they've gone on record and saying we want to show something new at every show.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
So, we're getting more.
Yep. Oh man, I just can't wait for this game. It said they didn't give a date for it. They just said State of Decay 3, so we know it's coming, which I can appreciate. But then they showed off Forza Motorsport, going back to Motorsport, the simulation game, I should say. I'm not a big racing fan. I don't know if anybody on the panel is, but I can always appreciate how Forza always pushes that graphical fidelity, and now it's also pushing performance and graphical fidelity. There was a point in the trailer that they showed where the car is making a turn that I was just like, this, and it slows down. I think it's like the first turn where the camera actually slows down. I was like, this is getting so close to being like realistic that it's getting kind of scary. All right, Cotton, you a big Forza fan or a racing fan?
I mean, I'm a big fan of Horizon.
Nice.
I've always loved racing games. I was always in the more arcadey vein, like take me back to Need for Speed Underground 1, 2, you know what I mean? But when I've played, the first motorsport I played was 2, and then since then, a lot of my friends, they're big into cars. They're big into the simulator. They had the whole like seat and like a custom setup that they built like in their auto shop. Like they took seats out of their cars and then had the wheels and the pedals. And that is when I really got into the simulator mode because it just took it to the next level. But this for me was the most impressive for like how a game looked. I wanted to see more. Obviously, always want to see more, but it's interesting that they took the number off of it and they're kind of like rebooting it in a way. And I hear that they're gonna have like more of like a story along with it, so it's exciting, dude. It looked as close to real that I've seen. Honestly, it definitely looked next gen to me.
Yeah, Maiden, how about you? Are you a big racing fan? Did you play Forza at all?
I actually don't. I appreciate the game's looks, so when Jason plays, I like to sit and watch him, but I'm not, myself don't play it. But I will say this game looks amazing because I was dealing with the kids, so I was in the kitchen not really paying attention. I look at the TV, and I was wondering, why are they showing some kind of weird ad for
Why'd you change the channel?
Cars?
What are you doing?
I know. I thought it was real. I honestly thought it was real, and then they said Forza. I was like, oh my gosh. I couldn't believe that was a game. It's just amazing. They really are pushing them to the limits of the graphics, and they're getting there.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. I'm more of a spectator when it comes to racing than I am actually playing them. Tempest, about you, sir? Yeah. So you play Forza. You like Forza?
Yeah, I do. It's not like my favorite genre or anything, but I do appreciate it. I do enjoy it, and they didn't show gameplay like Gran Turismo did, and so shame on them. But a 1-to-1 comparison, the shots that they showed of the cinematic and the pit view and all that stuff in Gran Turismo versus what Forza just showed, there's no comparison.
No, that's night and day.
I agree with you.
It's night and day. There's no comparison. So I mean, shame on them. But if they feel like they're not ready quite yet, I guess they got that right. I mean,
It's nice that it's out in the air now. I mean, I wanted
Mhm.
to see like behind the wheel, actual gameplay. It says it's all in engine, but yeah, there was no real gameplay. But just them walking around that shop, everything looked real, dude. They're not just the cars. Like the lighting in there is insane. I wanna to see how good it looks on this
Yeah.
on my TV and on the Series X. Like it's gonna be amazing
I can't even.
spectacle.
I can't even. I can't wait to see that when I watch the 4K footage in 60 frames. I was like, jeez, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Oh,
They're probably gonna have options too. Like you're probably gonna have like a 120 frames per second mode
oh,
without ray
performance
tracing.
mode. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
Oof.
because they did say that they were gonna do 4K 60 with ray tracing,
Yeah.
and I
Which is amazing.
1000%. It is amazing. Yeah, I 1000% believe that because what they can already squeeze out of that engine is ridiculous, and knowing that they're taking this much time to redo it is kind of crazy. So.
All right. And the next game they showed was actually, I'm gonna go back here in the footage too, so we can all see it. Was Everwild.
Mm.
Now I thought this looked pretty interesting. I did like what Rare had to do here. I think it matches like the artistic style that Rare likes to do. But I think this is gonna be like a co-op puzzle game. I don't think there's gonna be a lot of combat on this game. It's gonna be more exploration. I don't know if they said that and I missed it. But that's what I think. I think it's gonna be 4-player co-op exploration, solving puzzles, reconstructing the world somehow. That's the vibe I got from it. Maiden, what do you think about this game?
You muted, babe.
No, she
She must be dealing with the baby. Yeah,
okay,
I'm
okay,
sorry.
yeah, no problem, no problem.
No,
All
I'm
right.
sorry. I don't know
Oh,
why my Discord keeps doing that.
okay.
um, no, but I think it looks awesome. It's just you don't know what it is. Like you can only
Yeah.
make guesses. Like you said, like I wish they would have showed some type of gameplay just to give you an idea about what you're. I mean, it looks awesome, but what
Right.
is it for? Like, is it just a puzzle game? Or is there any like creatures you're gonna fight? We just don't know anything. They haven't
Yeah.
really given us too much information.
I agree. I did like the art style, everything that they
Oh
were
yeah.
doing, and but I think you hit the nail right on the head. It's just like some of these trailers, like not some, I would say even most of these trailers, left more for speculation than it actually did confirming anything or actually showcasing you something or telling you what you're gonna be doing. With the exception of Halo. Halo was the only game that actually showed a little bit of gameplay. There was a couple more too that we'll get to. I think Medium showed it as well. But Tempest, man, what'd you think about Everwild?
It looks like it. As I say this, and you might laugh, but I mean, Rare at one point did almost only make Nintendo games. It looks like Nintendo doesn't have a crappy little handheld to make games on.
Yeah.
That's the impression I got. It's absolutely breathtaking. The game really is. The art style is fantastic. It looks phenomenal. Having said that, and my interest is more than peaked. Courtney and I were like, what is it?
Yeah.
Obviously we'll be able to play it together. I think that's pretty apparent, and I think 4 people can play it together. They showed 4 characters. Now, I don't know if you're going to get a character creator, or those are just the characters that you have, or you don't know any of that stuff yet. And those are the kinds of things that would hype me up for it more if I just knew more about it. Like, I could see that game having a pretty simple combat style, but it draws you in more ways. I could almost see that game not being like a survival like Conan or even Grounded. Not quite that vein, but
Yeah.
I could see it being more something like that than anything else, but we just don't know. So all we know is it looks fantastic, and it's Rare, and it's coming to Game Pass. So whatever it is, we're gonna play it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Cotton, man, what'd you think? Everwild, was it right up your alley or what?
I mean, I'm a huge fan of Rare. I just love Rare and what they've done all the time back to the N64. Watching it back it looked great on stream, honestly. And then when I watched it back in 4K, I was like, this looks even better than I thought. It looks like an amazing world, honestly. I really like the style. I took one note about this. I was trying to take notes when I was at work watching this, and literally the only note I took for Everwild is what is it? Like what? So everyone's on the same page for that. I'm like, this looks awesome. It gave me a vibe of like that big bearded creature that wraps its tail around the tree. Like it reminded me of like
Yeah.
Avatar type of thing.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's cool. I want to see it. They've only impressed me, honestly. I don't know. A puzzle game sounds probably right. I think you're onto something there, Cyber.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm down. I want
'Cause
to see more of it.
Yeah, the only reason why I said is because in the exact same scene, it feels like I think there was two characters or one character that felt like he was controlling that big bearded animal with a
Yeah.
tail, and then that's why I was like, okay, so maybe it's gonna be like a world puzzle that you're gonna have to figure out. But yeah, I think this, even the art style, kind of like what you guys mentioned too, it matches this world, right? So it's just like, yeah, okay, I can see it, and it looked fantastic. I was really impressed by it. Tell me why. Anybody interested in this game? I've never played a Life is Strange game from who makes Life is Strange? Is it
Don't Nod. I think,
Don't
or
Nod.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've never played on this games. I've heard that they tell phenomenal stories, but I personally I've never tried one of their games. So, and I've never been eager to try. Anybody here wanna?
I think it looked a little strange. Like, I mean, it's
Okay.
once again like one of those.
Well, the first
Like, tell
game
me
was
why.
Life is Strange, so it fits right
Yeah.
in.
It's just like I told Tempest, I'm like, I feel like it's a drama show, but you have to play it. And to me, I'm like, that just seems a little bit on the boring side. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. Is there any enemies you gotta fight? Like, it just looked like you're running around talking. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yep,
About
this
you,
was the low
Tempest?
point of the show. Yeah, this was the low point of the show for me.
Yeah,
Like the
for you.
lowest point of the show. I just, some of the people, or some people like Don't Nod's games. I'm not one of them. But not every game is for me on these conferences, and I realize
Right.
that. But
Yep.
even for them, it really is like, it just looks like a game about almost nothing. Like it looks like two people prancing around a house the entire game. It just I don't think this was the place for that show, man. Leave that to like the pre-show or something,
Yeah.
Well, at least it gave. I mean, if there's people that are into that, then hey, at least the show gave them something for them too. That's about the only takeaway I can see it being there.
Yeah.
Something for everybody.
Yeah, I agree with that. Cotton, what about you,
Yeah,
man?
that's a great point. Yeah, I appreciate the variety. I know Boom always says that not every game's for every gamer, and that is
Right.
true. This looks okay to me. Don't know what it's about. Don't know how it's. They didn't really show off like how it is played. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I don't know if it's like I've never played one of their games either. I hear people say they like that they enjoy Life is Strange, but I don't know how they play. So I don't. It almost is like this like a Telltale style of game. It's obviously very story driven. So I mean, you never know. The story can be good. If it is, it's in Game Pass, and like that's one thing that was awesome about this show. Is like there's so much variety. Every game shown is either free to play or it's in Game Pass. And if it picks up steam and people start to get behind it, I can check it out, type of thing. But it didn't really interest me. This was definitely the low part of the show for me as well. But
Okay. Yeah, well, like Tempest mentioned too, it's a game that for a lot of people who haven't tried, including myself, that may be interested in the story or figure out exactly what the game is for. Guess what? Well, we'll talk about it later, but it's gonna be on Game Pass. Okay.
Yep.
So then they went into a couple of their they showed Ori and then they showed the Outer Worlds. We can kind of mix these two together. The Outer Worlds I still haven't played, but Ori I'm currently playing right now on my other channel, Xbox Game Pass Club. That's where I pick a game randomly from Game Pass and I play them.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I try to do that, trying to do that with a community, maybe turn it into a book club. I came up with this channel last year, but then like my son was born, and then it was just like, I got no time. So I slowly have to play these games. But Ori, if you haven't experienced it, it's an amazing game. And now 120 frames on a platformer to that, it's gonna be amazing. Anyone play it? Did you play Ori at all or no?
I just played through the first one on
Ooh,
xCloud,
loved it.
actually.
Yeah.
Like, slowly through my lunch breaks at work. I haven't touched this one yet. I might wait just to get that, because it's 4K 120 frames, which is notable for sure. It's this and the Outer Worlds DLC, which you said we're kind of throwing together. I think they're cool showings. I know there's huge fans of Ori, and I think they might have been better off, like a better showing in like the pre or the post show personally. But it's specifically the Outer Worlds. Like, I haven't played through all of Outer Worlds, and I didn't see any sort of I didn't see anything signifying that is coming to Xbox Series X, which I was like, I thought that this was mostly about. I know Ori is, but Outer Worlds, I was not. I didn't see an indication of that. 120 frames in 4K, and Ori's already visually
beautiful game.
Beautiful.
If Ori is not a Game of the Year contender at the end of this year, I'm gonna be
biased.
Oh my god. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do something. I don't know yet.
Yeah, the first one is great.
Oh, first one was beautiful too. Tempest, man.
Very angry
go ahead. Maiden, yeah, exactly. Rather like a huge email, start putting posts everywhere, go on Twitter like everybody does. Maiden, do you like Ori at all, or Outer Worlds? Did you play any of these two games?
I didn't play either. One thing I'll say about Ori is I haven't played it because I'm not a really side scroll type game person. Okay. But I love watching Jason. I think it looks awesome. It's my style of look. And I think it looks amazing. It has that, like, urethral quality to it, and the music is just so pretty, but I just not that style of game for me. But I love watching Jason play it, and I'm super excited that they're adding more to it. It already looked phenomenal, and then they're doing even more for their fan base, their player base, by adding to it, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah. Tempest, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I don't think this was the time or place for these announcements, but I took the announcement of Ori being 120 frames a lot better than I did the Outer World stuff.
Yeah,
right.
And that's because they were actually saying something special. We knew that the DLC was coming. I think they just announced it, I believe. Not what it was, but they announced that DLC was coming. And I just don't think this was the place for it. It actually upset me quite a bit. I mean, Courtney was there watching me. I was like, man, they shouldn't be doing this. But, I don't know, man. I played about 15 hours or so of Outer Worlds, and I need to play more. You know what the problem is? Once again, I'm so sick of 30 frames per second. I can't stand it, and that feels like a console game to me. I have a problem, unless it's like a competitive shooter or like an MMO or something. I have a hard time sitting in my computer chair and playing those kinds of games. I don't like it. So I wanted to play that on console, but it was 30 frames per second. So if they would have been like, I might have missed it. Did they say that it was getting updated with like 60 frames a second and stuff?
I'm pretty sure I didn't see like anything about, because underneath each time they show it off is like Xbox One, Xbox Series X PC, or Xbox Series X PC. And I didn't see anything, but I didn't see anything for the Series X at all. I just saw that they were, because Obsidian took the stage at that point, right? And they were just showing off the 3, and we'll get to the third after. But I didn't see anything about that. That was something I was like, what? Because I wanted to play through it too in 60, which is why I kind of never really. Outer Worlds came out right around when I was really heavy into Destiny, and it just didn't stay and hold my attention, you know what I mean? But if it was a higher frame and like optimized, which I feel like it would be, I definitely pick it back up again. But I didn't see anything. I could have missed it.
be completely honest with you, if it was at least 60 frames a second on console, I would have played and beaten that game forever ago. I would have. I'm to the point where I can't stomach 30 frames anymore. Like, honestly.
I've heard good things about it.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. I can't do it anymore.
You can't do it no more.
I
Give me
can't.
No filmic for you.
No filmic games. I watch filmic movies, not games. Sorry.
Yeah. I haven't played the Outer Worlds yet, so but
it's good. It's awesome.
Yep.
It's like, it sounds stupid, but to me, there's such a thing as like, you play that on your PC, or that's like a console game. That's a game I want to chill on my couch and play. And that's that kind of game, and I ain't doing it at 30 frames. Not doing it.
Yeah, Nightwolf 3186 said something that we probably all think, and DLC has no place for that type of show, nor do games that are already out. Yeah, put that on the pre-show. What are we doing? Okay, so let's see here. So,
I have only one exception for that.
Go ahead.
For later. Oh, no,
for later? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Next game. This game actually surprised. Grounded actually looked better than I thought it had in any other trailer, and I loved how they were able to make fun of themselves in the trailer too. You know, this game is meant. I enjoy all types of games, so I'm not the one that only wants, you know, mature content and story driven games. I play anything I want as long as I'm having fun. I'm gonna keep playing it, and this game just allows me to play with like my nephews and, you know, people that I can't play Call of Duty and certain games with my nephews and things like that. They're not old enough, so this game's right here just gives me an in with them in video games and things like that. But Tempest, what'd you think about Grounded, man? I know there was a tweet that Maiden put out that you guys really enjoyed.
Yeah, no, I've been wanting to play this for a while now for obvious reasons, and it's just one of those things where, I mean, I'll let Courtney talk about how she felt, but I mean, there was a reaction to this, and it was a good one. Yeah. The marketing was fantastic. It made me laugh. At first, I was like, dude, don't show this. I was like, this isn't the place for it. But I'm sorry, but they just did the trailer so well, and the narration was so well, and it hyped me up to play it. Like, it honestly hyped me up to play it enough to where I was like, okay, you belong here. You know? Right. So that's how I felt, yeah. And it's 5 days away.
5 days. It's right here.
Yeah, it's right here.
Of a week.
Yeah.
Winter Maiden, your tweet that you put out just praising this game. You like this game, huh? And I'm right there with you. What'd you think?
Oh, I was super excited when I saw this game. Like my tweet said, I'm always on the lookout for, you know, games for my kids to play, because we got, you know, 8-year-old and a 5-year-old. So in a world of a lot of mature games, it's kind of hard. And then the ones that are, you know, meant for kids are a little bit, you don't want to play.
Right, you don't want to play those games, yeah.
But so I saw this, and for Tempest and I, it looks awesome because it has, you know, hints of Conan to it, where you're building a base out in for survival, and but it's in kid form, where you could do it with the kids and just enjoy it. So I thought that was a really, really cool game that they could put out, something that could honestly be enjoyed by all. And Tempest was right there. Whoever was in charge of their script for the trailer.
Oh, that trailer was so... I was laughing.
I was laughing. It was so funny. And they had a tweet too, and whoever's in charge of their Twitter is pretty funny as well.
It was like the most anticipated game of the year, Cyberpunk 2077. I was like, yes. Yeah, I'm on the same boat as you guys, man. I think this game is going to be a lot of fun, especially with all... they got a lot of hidden stuff in there. You got building mechanics. You could maybe build your own base, right? Things like that. I didn't play the demo. Cotton, you played the demo though, didn't you?
Yeah, dude, it's really intricate. It's a full-on survival game, and because I played they have like a 30-minute, like, I don't know if it's like a tech demo or what, that's available through like the Xbox preview program, and I played it about 3-4 times, and there's not too much tutorial going on, which is cool because I'm sure there will be, but it's like very intricate. As like you can, honestly didn't get very far figuring it out on my own, but they have like tech almost that you can end up getting into, which I think they kind of showed. Like you can find that little toy robot in there, and they have like little like batteries, or they're huge because you're so small, which is just a cool. It's such a cool like setting, like that
Yeah.
Honey I Shrunk the Kids type of like feel, which is why the marketing was super super cool. The way they just did the whole trailer, it felt like that trailer to that what's that Disney movie, Big Fat Liar, if that's Disney, I don't know if it's what it is, but if you guys ever saw that, it's kind of an older one where it's like he gets huge and the narrator's like this super classic movie summer blockbuster trailer. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It was super. The game's fun. I want to play it more. I still have it downloaded. I might jump back into it, but it's coming out here in 4 days, right? So might wait for that version of it because I started to figure things out, and then my 30 minutes ran up, and then I'd have to restart. And I was like, all right, I'm going to wait for a little bit more. But it's definitely deep. It's deep. There's a lot of things you can do, and the spiders are terrifying.
Well, Obsidian did show a little clip of their I'm gonna go back here so we can all see it too, of their RPG that they're working on, Avowed, and this looked interesting to me. I got Skyrim vibes all over this thing. Yeah, right. Tempest, what'd you think, man? What'd you think of Avowed? Right up your alley or no?
Heck yes, man.
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff we've been waiting for, dude. This is that's what happens when you buy a studio like Obsidian and say go wild, you know. Admittedly, very little footage. Don't know if it was 100% CGI or that part when you're in the cave and you see the sword and the magic. I don't know if that was in engine or not. You know, I don't know, but I really do think I think Bethesda has it out for
sure.
Obsidian has it out for Bethesda. We're gonna take your genre and take your lunch money. That's what.
Give me both.
Like. Give me both, man. Yeah, I really wish they would have showed what was coming through the cave. Was it a dragon or?
I thought it was gonna end with the monster busting through the cave. Like it was gonna be bigger than the door. You know, I think it was just gonna bust right through and break the whole cave open.
I would love that.
But at its core, it's Obsidian, and it's going to be a game that's going to look like that. So it's going to be awesome, man. And I can't say it enough, and we're not going to have to pay for it. I mean, we have to use a subscription, but it's a Game Pass, dude. Like it's still hard to wrap my head around that, to be completely honest with you. So.
Seriously,
Courtney, you're a big fan of these types of games, or did you like what you saw from Avowed?
Yeah, I'm definitely interested. I mean, it looks like a mix of Skyrim meets Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah.
So, both of which I really love, so I honestly can't wait. And it does remind you of, you know, the Skyrim. So in that game I played.
Yep.
I don't even know how many.
I can attest to that.
So I'm definitely looking for another game like that, and I can't wait to see what it's all about and hopefully sink my hands into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
These kids.
Cotton, floor is all yours, my friend. What'd you think?
Dude, this is probably the game of the show for me. I mean, I knew, I was hoped, honestly, this is what I want. And I was excited because all these people I just seen so many people who are talking about, Microsoft bought Obsidian and you're getting grounded. I was like, you guys are crazy. Everyone knows, like, they made probably, in my opinion, the best of the Fallout games, and they do have Bethesda's number big time. Just the scale of just what this cinematic, or if it was an engine or what it was, but that arrow goes from that castle. It shows off how vast this world is. It goes through those mountains, and then it goes deep underground, and then you get that snippet of game, like it looks like gameplay, and you got the pretty much dual wielding type of thing. He's got a sword, he's got the spells, the way he does that in the air. I was like, yes, this is what I want exactly. And the fact that it's probably pretty far out, but you got some gameplay, like a couple seconds of it. Just like that was the best showing that I could have expected for something that's that far out type, you know, in a way.
Yeah.
I'm stoked. I love Skyrim, and if it kind of does get that Lord of the Rings vibe, which I'm all about, I was excited for this game, dude.
Now that you guys mentioned Lord of the Ring, right at the end of that trailer, there was actually a little bridge. All I was hoping was for like a little Gandalf parody, but like, yo, shall not pass, you know?
Right.
And then the monster busts through.
Yeah, the Balrog. That's exactly Jason said. Which
Yeah.
it would have walked through. I'm like, it would have been a Balrog though.
For sure. Tempest,
you
you
know
were going to
what,
say something? Yeah, man.
Yeah. You know what this reminded me of? Remember that game? I can't remember if it was Deeper or Deep or Underground, whatever it was called. But the game back at the PS4 reveal event that Capcom was supposedly making for them. You remember that game? It was like a game like this where he was in a dungeon. It was all dark and like a big dragon came out or whatever.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what this kind of reminded me of a little bit. The only difference is we'll actually get this game. So,
that's good.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on along. Did you want to say something, Kyle?
No, I mean, I could talk about it for a minute, but I'm good on that.
Good?
Game Pass. It's in Game Pass. It looks amazing.
Oh, we're going to get to the start of the show in a little bit. So
it's just right there, man. I'm
so this next game, I can appreciate what they're doing here. It seems a very different art style, but this reminds me of the same thing as the Life is Strange franchise and the Tell Me Why game, A Dusk Falls. What do you guys think about this game? Anybody interested in this game or want to say anything about it?
I kind of didn't really pay attention to that one. It didn't.
Yeah, this seems like
stand out to me.
Yeah, me neither. It felt like it was the hand painted. It was all pretty much all hand painted, and they were doing some sort of I don't even know, but
it was weird a little bit.
Yeah, it felt like it was just another story driven game, which you probably have choices and you'll see different cutscenes and things like that, but I'm not sure.
It definitely looked like the Tell Me Why game. I'm surprised they didn't kind of put it right there in that segment of the show. The style was just odd. It was just odd, like because the environments around the characters seemed like they were animated, like they were moving, but the characters were almost in they were very well like drawn. They looked like hand drawn almost, but they were like in what was it, like stop motion? It's just one of those games. If the story's good and I hear good things about it and I got time where I'm not playing other games, I'll jump into it. I'll hear what people say, but yeah, wasn't super intrigued.
Yeah,
it was
it's on Game Pass, so if there's good things about it, then hey,
exactly,
pick it up quick.
It reminded me of one of those interactive comics.
Yeah. Okay. For sure.
If you've ever watched one of those, yeah. So I mean, like I said, I didn't think this. I normally I'm okay with them showing that kind of stuff. I really am, but there was just quote unquote too much. Like, is there really too much writing on this show? Probably the casual general consumer will see the show and like it, or might not even watch this show. They'll just pick up the console and get whatever a few of their hardcore buddies tell them to. You know what I mean? But like,
oh yeah,
I normally don't have an issue, but for this particular show, I didn't really feel like they should have had it in there. To be honest with you.
Yeah,
they had inside Xboxes for a reason, right?
Yeah, and I like we mentioned here too, guys. We do appreciate that they give these games a chance and they give these games a spotlight, in on the show of this caliber. But I guess it was unique enough that they felt like they could have a game like that in there. But moving along, then the Ninja Theory came out, and then they talked about Hellblade a little bit, but they didn't show anything new, nothing that we haven't seen. They just talked about the documentary, how you can go to their YouTube channel and watch it. I was a little disappointed in that. Maybe they could have showed off maybe another trailer, but it's okay for now. I guess they're holding some stuff back. Psychonauts 2, their new trailer. This for me, it was okay. I wasn't too impressed by it. I thought the whole Jack Black thing, I think, overshadowed what was going on a little bit with the game. But they were more interested at one point showing just him, singing and being part of the game. I love Jack Black, but I don't know. I didn't like the way they showcased Psychonauts personally during this segment. Khan, I'll go to you first, man. What'd you think?
Yeah, I feel the same way about Hellblade 2 as well. Just a little disappointing there for Psychonauts. It's multiplayer, right? I'm pretty
Yes,
sure
Psychonauts
this
is
one.
multiplayer. Yeah.
Yeah. This. I mean, I think it looks cool. I never played the first one. Just this weird, trippy, super colorful world is very. I want to play it. Honestly, I like. It looks like it's like puzzly, platformy. Love Jack Black. Love Tenacious D. Love School of
Yeah.
Rock. I'm always Brutal Legend. I almost thought that we were gonna get like a tease with Brutal Legend for a second there, for like Brutal Legend 2 or something. I thought that would have been cool, but this looks interesting to me. They definitely focused on Jack Black, which I don't mind because I'm a big fan, but it was like Jack Black and trippy platformer. I'm on board. I want to play it.
Awesome. Maiden, what'd you think?
I thought it looked, like you said, and the good word for it was trippy. And for me, I think Jack Black kind of overshadowed it as well. I mean, I was watching it and I was just like, ooh, Jack Black. And more than anything, I was just hoping he had like, because I didn't play the first one. So I had no idea what it was about. So I was like, maybe he'll be like a character in it. That'd be cool. But no, he's just singing a song, which, you know.
Sounded great.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it sounded great. Yeah. But I mean, for the game itself, I was distracted by him singing. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, especially how
Black.
they kept going back to him like side by side. Like, hey, Jack Black is in this game. Jack Black. I was just like, okay.
Yeah, it looks like what their focus was, and didn't really focus on the game. Because I'll be honest, I didn't get too much of it. It was a bunch of bright colors and platforming, so that's all I got out of it because I was distracted. So I think they could have probably showcased that one a little bit better, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Tempest, how about you, man?
Yeah, it's funny. I never played the first one, and every trailer I see of these games, I don't know what it is. Like, I feel like every while, like I don't know what the game is. This trailer, I finally realized the game's a freaking platformer. I literally didn't know that. Like, I had no idea what it was. No clue. This trailer, I finally was able to see that it's a platformer of some sort. So I'm like, okay, that's about it. Like, a lot of people love Psychonauts, and a lot of people like Double Fine's games. So I thought it was a good pickup for that reason. Could be completely honest with you, until they make something other than Psychonauts 2, I'm probably not interested, to be honest with you. Not every game's for every gamer. This one's just
One
not
of
doing it
those.
for me.
Oh yeah, one of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. A lot of people are hyped about this game. I've
Oh
never
yeah,
played
it's got a strong fan base, right?
They did touch on it a bit more on the post show with Jeff Keighley. They had the dev come in and talk about it, and they said that specific segment they showed, where it's extra trippy and whatnot, and you see him, like, the character, it's like mind or whatever goes into the jar. They said that this portion is like a lot more of that trippy style visual than like the rest of the game is. So it'll be more platformy for the majority of the game than like that super crazy, apparently. But yeah, interesting.
So right after Psychonauts, Sarah Bond came in the screen, and she's the head of Xbox partnership, and I miss what her next title was, but she's pulling a lot of deals, man. I like what she's doing. Let me tell you. Oh man, and she gave us Destiny 2. Their next expansion is going to be available on Xbox Game Pass, along with all the other expansions too. Like, what? And if you guys are a Destiny fan, I love Destiny, by the way. I played it. I played the first one. I played the second one. I fell off of it for a few months. Then I came back to it. I fell in love with it again. And now it's one of those games I can pick up anytime and just play. Complete a couple of things. And I just love that loot mechanic that they've created in that world. I think it's fantastic. But anybody else play Destiny is excited about it or?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Oh, talk to me then. Talk to me nice, bro. Come on, give me
I've
something.
spent so many hours into Destiny 1, Destiny 2. I was hardcore. I was just playing Destiny 2 last week before Ghost of Tsushima came out. I was running with my clan I've been in forever, doing all the raids, doing all the new stuff. I've been kind of off of it for a while, but this was huge for me. And I
Oh
know
man.
a lot of people hate on it, a lot of people play it. I know a lot of the Iron Lords over at ILP play the game all the time. It's a big deal for them to get this marketing back, or get it from Sony. Honestly, like to get people to play this game is very daunting. Not because there's so much to do, but also because you have each add-on you want to buy and all these
Mm-hmm.
things. So the fact that they're bringing all of the current like up-to-date add-ons to Game Pass in September, and then the new yearly expansion is coming
Coming. Oh.
as well to Game Pass,
Whew.
and they're gonna be upgrading it to 4K
I'm applauding.
60.
Just keep talking. I'm just applauding as you talk.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're upgrading it to 4K 60, which is why most people switched from playing on console to PC, because this game deserves to be in 60 frames, as almost pretty much all of them do now, but it just looks so much better. When I watched it back in 4K on my TV, I was like, this is what I've been missing. This is where all my friends have gone and left me to play on PC, where it's better. And this is one of the biggest announcements for me, just because that's so much value. Like, I didn't buy the new expansion yet, and now I don't have to.
Oh yeah.
It's big, man.
Oh, it's
But I
big
know a lot
too.
of people don't care about Destiny, but it's now they can bring in so many more people, and not only is it coming to Game Pass in September, but they already announced that it's coming to Game Pass Ultimate on PC next year, which is
man,
they have
it's
a lot
incredible.
of PC players, so that's really big for them.
Incredible. Tempest, did you try Destiny at all? You play Destiny?
1 and 2, multiple expansions. We're lapped.
Hey,
Destiny.
how many times have I said I still haven't done the Leviathan raid? And here you go. Everybody here plays Destiny. Nobody says nothing to me. What are we doing? What are we doing? Come on, some of this content is gonna go away. I gotta do it quick. Let's go.
Hey, man, it's like a love-hate relationship with it.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's the fact it's going to be on Game Pass, and that the expansion is going to be on Game Pass. What this is going to do is the very fact that there's not cross-play yet, but cross-save.
Yeah, cross-save, yeah.
Yeah, but there is cross-save. The fact that there's cross-save, what's going to happen is anybody, including a lot of people on PlayStation, that ecosystem, are going to hear the new expansion's free. And if they had any doubts about buying the Xbox, and maybe it might even be Game Pass PC. That might even happen too. I don't know yet.
They came out and said it next year.
Next year.
Right away.
Next year, okay.
21.
Yeah, so anybody that at one point has played it, even if it was months, 2 years ago, whatever, they're going to be able to sign on, do their cross-save, thing through the website, and start playing this through Game Pass for absolutely free. And this is huge. This was to me, this was almost as big as if they got the marketing rights back to like Call of Duty.
Yep.
Which I still think might be the case. Maybe.
That's what I was expecting.
I was expecting that too, but I think so many of the things we wanted to see, they refused to show because it's not going to be available on Game Pass, at least day and date.
Yeah.
This, like I said, at the top, that this was the most impressive, thing about the show, but also I feel like part of the show's downfall a little bit was the fact that like everything you see is Game Pass, and if it's not Game Pass, you're not seeing it. Yeah. So,
go ahead. Winter Maiden, please tell me you play Destiny 2, because then we'll have 4 players already. All we need is 2 more to complete this raid. Come on.
Oh yeah, definitely play Destiny.
Let's go. You guys heard it here. We're gonna do the Leviathan raid. Let's go. I'm just gonna go ahead.
It's been a while though. When Destiny 2 came out, I was a little disappointed because it seemed like it was an expansion pack of Destiny 1, and but I still enjoyed it. I mean, I still want to play in the raids, and I love the storyline. So we fell off of it for a while. We haven't played for a while, but with this expansion, Tempest has been asking me to play it again, but I was like, it's been so long. We didn't have any to play with because, Cyber wasn't around. But now, we got people to do the raids with and
Yeah.
more content coming, so I'm excited.
Awesome. I'm in the same boat. It was like me and one friend that played out of all our group that played Destiny. So when it came down to do all these raids and things like that, like like matchmaking, you either get group of people or somebody would just take off. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, like, oh, that's not cool. But with Game Pass, I think Tempest actually talked about something very, very interesting. If people were on the fence about trying this out, this might just go over to Game Pass, try it out, and guess what? They might just stay there, huh?
Right.
You got something
Yeah,
cooking there, my friend. You got something cooking. I like it.
Yeah. If you're a Destiny fan too, there's no cheap tactics on the Sony side to try to get you there over the other. There's not going to be any exclusive items or any of that crap. In fact, it would appear if there was any form of quote unquote marketing rights, it would appear it's with Xbox now, which is very
Amazing.
different. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And Nightwolf in the chat, he said, especially to the point of Game Pass, that if consoles ship with the 1 or 3 months Game Pass included, then you got even more incentive to come over if you're a Destiny fan, which is true. And it's not that the expansion is. It makes me think they do have like full marketing rights for it, because the new main expansion that's coming out this year, Beyond Light, is coming to Game Pass day and date that it launches.
That's awesome. All right, so then they talked about two other games. We can kind of mesh these two together. Stalker 2 and Warhammer Dark Tide, I believe it was Warhammer Dark Tide, yes. Stalker has been predominantly, or has only been on PC if I remember correctly. I have a cousin who he played it religiously, loves this game, and he was really excited for it to come on consoles. Warhammer, I've never played, so I can't really comment. I haven't played Stalker either, so I can't really comment on both these games. Anybody here played those games and want to share with us a little bit?
Yeah, I can speak to both. Stalker is a very, 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 very PC title. Back when they used to come out and the expansions, when it did come out, it was very graphically intensive. The game wasn't for everybody, but there is a definite cult following for that game through and through. So when I saw that, I was like, oh snap, there's gonna be a lot of people happy. Not maybe a lot of people on Twitter happy, that type of crap. But there's a market for that game. So when I saw it, I was quite shocked and pleased as well. But now I can speak to this. Fat Shark, the developers for these. See, they did the Warhammer Vermintide games 1 and 2. I don't know. Have you guys played that?
I actually downloaded that one.
Okay, yeah. They're like a AA developer that pushes the graphical quality to pretty much a AAA caliber. Their games look absolutely incredible. They play very, very well. They're extremely good at what they do. I feel like this game is literally just Vermintide 2, but with guns and more of a sci-fi, setting. And look out for this one. I bet you money that this game is going to be fantastic when it drops. Once again, day and date on Game Pass. I can't even.
Yeah.
It's going to blow your mind graphically because you can go right now on the One X. Yeah. So anyway,
Winter Maiden, did you ever play any of these games? Excited for any of these two?
No, I didn't play either, and for me, I have a lot of stuff that can distract me, so a game has to really catch my attention to really want to get down and play it. So no, these they're not my type. So
okay. Cotton, how about you, man?
I played a little bit of Vermintide 2, the Warhammer. Barely scratched the surface of it, but I have a friend who's he's part of that cult following for Stalker.
Mm-hmm.
And Stalker 2 is a mystery to me. Besides that, I know my friend loved it on the PC, and I liked the vibe of it. I like to see new games, man. There's more games. Xbox has no games, right?
Exactly. Now, this next game here, I'm actually gonna go back so we can see it. I thought it was really big. I didn't know what it was when they started showing it. Tetris Effect. I thought was a big get for coming to Xbox, especially Game Pass. I was just like, this game is gonna do wonders in Game Pass, I believe. I've played Tetris, but I haven't kept up with with Tetris at all. Like I've played, the original, and once in a while I'll try another Tetris that come out. But yeah, I think this is a big Tetris is still probably one of the most played games everywhere, or probably around the world. So, what do you guys think about that, Maiden? I'll start with you. Okay, I will start actually with Tempest.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm trying to hit the button. No, I think it's cool that it's coming, and it seems like I'm judging by the people all playing that it's going to be really easy to maybe play with people or some type of multiplayer. I don't know which would be an interesting aspect to it.
Yeah, Tetris had a battle royale too, didn't Tetris? What was it called? 100 Tetris,
yeah,
something like that.
I can't remember the exact title, but yeah, there was. Yeah,
I will be fair. I think it's a big get for Xbox, but I haven't played Tetris in a long time.
Oh, dude,
yeah,
I was a child last time I played it. Yeah.
So Cotton, how about you, man? Oh, go ahead, man. You got something else to say?
Oh no, I was just saying. I think it's a neat game that they're bringing. That's a different, like I mentioned earlier, that there's something for everybody. So definitely something to try, I think, and see. Maybe for the kids, maybe for some friends come over. It's like a little like challenge game together. But I think it'll be interesting.
I agree. It's one of those games that you can pretty much show to anybody, and anybody can pick it up and play. You don't have to tell them too much here. This is exactly what you have to do, and it's pretty straightforward. Exactly. What's your comment? Anything on this game?
I mean, Tetris it's a classic. It's before my time. I've played it. I suck at it. But I was calling it. I didn't see, what is it actually called? It's Tetris what?
Tetris Effect.
Okay, yeah, I was calling it Tetris Hero because it just all the music. I was thinking of Guitar Hero. I was like, okay, what is this? The online co-op? I'm sure it's splits, like some sort of couch play. That's a great point, Maiden, where you could throw this on for pretty much free and just sit down and play some Tetris with whoever's at the house and kick back if you want. You know what I mean? It's an option. I think Tetris is, people play it like crazy. Like, it's on the phone. It's retro.
It's everywhere.
Definitely a big get. I don't know if I'll play it, but I mean, who knows? Maybe.
Yeah. The Gunk was the next game that's actually showing right now. I thought it was this game looked interesting. One thing I will say though, it seems like all these worlds are kind of starting to look a little bit samey, like the Gunk, Outer Worlds. Like they're all going for that that space look, like vegetation, or
very otherworldly.
Very otherworldly. Yeah, that's probably a good way to put it. But I thought it looked interesting. Say that one more time. Tempest?
Yeah, sorry.
You're saying something.
Yeah. It's just strange that you're right, and you are right. There is a lot of that going around. It's very, very odd because it's an odd art style. Yeah,
right.
The art style looks okay. It's kind of like a weird Mario Sunshine. It's what it reminds me of, honestly.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Like a dark Mario Sunshine.
Yeah, like a dark Mario. Yeah.
Take out the sunshine.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. It looks. It looks interesting, and you know what? My kids will probably see it sitting there on Game Pass, download it, and play it.
Yeah,
I'll find out from them.
Anybody got anything to say on the Gunk?
No, I was gonna agree with you that when I was rewatching the show in preparation for this one, the Gunk came on, and my exact thought was like, oh look, it's like a zoom up on that leaf there, just like a couple other games we've seen. Like, it's just showing like, oh, we're outside in nature and the otherworldly look. And I mean, I like it. It's beautiful, and that's probably why a lot of games are gravitating towards it, just for the graphical challenge and oh, look at our game. So it's nice and it looks good, but you are starting to get that feel from a lot of games. It's getting very similar. I agree.
Yeah. Next game that they did talk about was a game that I was not originally sold on, but I think this trailer actually sold me on it a little bit more. The Medium horror genre coming, technically still coming out this holiday 2020. So I hope we get to see a little more, but I really enjoy the horror genre. I like playing it. I like movies. So and this trailer actually caught my attention and caught my interest. Anybody else feel anything about the Medium? Just feel free to jump in, anyone.
It actually looks fantastic. It's definitely not Courtney's type of games I play completely by myself. Yeah, I love the hair color change. I think that's slick whenever she's in like the other world.
I like the white hair.
Yeah, it's awesome. but no, for real, it actually looks kind of cool. Like when they first showed it, I was like, yeah, whatever. But actually seeing the dual worlds at any given time looks very interesting. And it looked like there was like a killer on the loose on like the real world, and then the other world, it looked like she was dealing with some kind of like creature or whatever. So it might end up being really cool. I mean, it wasn't on my radar at all, and at least now I'm like, wow, that does look interesting. It looks good too.
I wonder if they're going to do something like they do with A Way Out, which you're going to have a split screen and you're actually paying attention to both screens at the same time to figure out some kind of puzzle or something like that.
It could be. Yeah, like I said, I there was some gameplay bits that you could pull from it, but you're still kind of slightly don't know exactly what you're going to be doing, you know. So
yeah, Cotton, this game caught your eyes at all or no?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if this was in the post show where they showed some more gameplay, or if it was right there. But there's definitely like, it seems like you're playing both sides, almost like controlling them because you're in the same area, but in obviously the other like world or dimension, whatever it is. And then there's like puzzles where there was a specific gameplay segment that I think it was in the post show where in the non like spirit world she was like winding back a clock and it was altering, like it was a puzzle that was linked between both and it was rendered at the same time, so your screen is split and then it kind of like slides over to like the other side and you start going from one world to the other. So it's like at some points you're doing both and some points you move to one. It's very interesting, super next gen to me, the way that it's got the dual rendering. I've never really seen anything like that where it's like instantaneously. This gave me some like a little bit of a Silent Hill kind of vibe. I heard that after I was thinking that I was looking up and I read that they have like one of the composers who worked on Silent Hill is doing some of the music for this, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's why I'm feeling that. It's cool. I want to play some more horror games, and it definitely looks really good to me.
Yeah,
so.
It's right up my alley too, man. This next game, nobody in the panel likes. So Fantasy Star Online. Nobody ever heard about this game. So next. I will start with you, my friend. Tempest. Okay. Fantasy Star Online. Go ahead. Tell us about it.
Dude, I legit lost it. This at this point, because there was a little bit of a middle of a lull, like considering what we saw after like the Don't Tell Me Why and that stuff. I mean, this show kind of dipped a little bit for me, and they showed some interesting stuff like we just talked about, but it wasn't like. I was also looking at the clock too, because at this point I think they only have like 20 minutes of the show left, and I was like, oh, like give me something here, something besides just me being excited for Halo, right? And and Avowed, that was great too, but. When they showed this, though, you can ask Courtney. I was like, I couldn't stop. I was like, I can't believe it. It looks so good. I was
like, this made the show for me.
Yeah, it did. It made the show for me. This came out of nowhere again. And I wasn't expecting this. I mean, we just got a PSO2, and I've heard nothing, absolutely nothing about them making a new PSO. Nothing. And you can say what you want about the character models. Trust me, that's 1,000% on purpose. they look like that because that is just what Phantasy Star characters look like. They've always looked like that. But like the gameplay looks just so good, and the fact that it really does, it looks like it's one big open world, which is totally different than the way PSO2 is now. Dude, I'm so hyped. I can't. This is bizarre. It's bizarre, dude. This is on Xbox exclusive for at least a while.
Console exclusive, yeah. They said it. Launch exclusive, right? Yeah.
I'm not trying to rub it in when I say this, but like the fact that like you can't play this on PlayStation when it comes out. It's silly. You can't play this on Nintendo or PlayStation, but on Xbox. Okay, also xCloud in the Asian market. Dude,
oh yeah.
The potential is there, and people don't understand the impact stuff like this is going to have in the grand scheme of things. This could be massive, absolutely massive, especially with xCloud and regions like Japan and South Korea. This is huge. This is really big. Yeah. So,
Winter Maiden. What did you think of this game? I know you guys are a big fan.
She's unmuting her phone.
Yeah. Oh, she's unmuting it. Okay.
You can go to Cotton while she's
Cotton.
Yeah.
You a fan? Phantasy Star?
This has never really been my thing, although I don't hate on it. Immediately thought of Tempest.
Right? Oh, 100%. 1,000%. As soon as I saw it, I was just like...
I'm like sitting there at work. I'm watching the hockey team practice for the playoffs coming up, and I'm like Tempest Sun, and my cousin's watching it with me. He looks over at me. He's like, "What about him? This is his jam." I was like, "He's losing it right now. I already know." And I don't know if Phantasy Star Universe is that like the same. Is that the same vein, the same game? Because I know I've played that.
Yeah, they're as far as I know, they are kind of like all connected. But I think they're calling this Phantasy Star 2 New Genesis or whatever.
Yeah, I know they're not.
Yeah.
That's the only one I've played. I played that one like on the 360 back in the day. Me and my friends, we would never like do anything but be Hub World, and like I remember we were like, I don't know if it was just emotes where it made it look like you were throwing something, and we'd just be sitting there playing catch and talking, and it was like it was just like a hub. We'd all just hang out in there. I sick.
Yeah, I feel like they're calling it 2 because it's supposed to be like this isn't the same game. Look like it plays the same at all. Like it's a different game for sure, but they're calling it Phantasy Star 2.
Yeah,
so
I
think
it's PSO2 New Genesis, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm confused, but it's definitely a new game. This is far more than what just a graphical update could do, especially because how Phantasy Star Online 2 works with like having hub worlds and stuff. It's drastic. This looks like an open world game,
right?
So way different. Yeah.
Definitely gave me Monster Hunter World vibes too, though. That open world, yeah.
I was thinking Monster Hunter. I was thinking because they look like almost like cybernetic, like monsters and like or dinosaur type looking. It reminded me of like even Horizon a little bit. The way that they're huge monsters, and that's that kind of in the grassy plains and whatnot. I think it looked better than I remember by far on both terms of gameplay and graphics. And I would definitely try it.
Yeah, absolutely. Winter Maiden, you back? I don't know if you guys hear it. It's crazy thunderstorms outside right now. I don't know if you guys hear it. So
I don't hear it.
I'm just giving you guys a heads up in case I just go out. You know.
She's asking about Phantasy Star. She's here.
She's okay. Yeah.
No, I was just saying earlier that it just looks amazing. I'm really excited to be able to play more content and explore whatever the world offers now that it's open and it's not just section off areas of the map that you get sent to. I love to be able to explore stuff, so that's a really neat feature that they're adding to me.
Okay. Next game Crossfire X. They showed up the campaign from Remedy Entertainment. They're doing the campaign, and I've got to say, I played the beta, the multiplayer beta. Wasn't a big fan. Sorry to say, but the campaign did look good. I was very intrigued, by how the campaign looked, and I'm definitely want to try this out. Maiden, I'll start with you. Did you like what they showed with the Crossfire X?
I want to do it right away. I want to play it. It looked almost on the caliber of like a epic Call of Duty or Battlefield.
Yeah, exactly what I thought too.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I'm always down for that.
Yep. Tempest, about you, man? I will say one thing. That knife that they showed, I forgot what the proper name of that knife is. I was just like, oh, Sam Fisher. I remember that knife when they used it. I was like, oof. Yeah. Come on, man. But Tempest, what do you think, man?
It looked awesome, dude. Like, it looks really good. Like, really good. I mean, of course you can make a trailer look good, but this is gameplay trailer. I mean, it's snippets of gameplay, but it's gameplay. And I'll tell you what, the beta, again, not for everyone. It's a very certain style of game. I did play it. My takeaway was, I think this could be great, but it needs work. And this is the single player, part of it. Looks way better, way more involved than I thought it would. When I heard that Remedy was making it, I was like, that sounds great, but I feel like it's just a tacked on single player to this game just for the sake of having it. But after seeing that, I don't feel that way anymore. That looks really dang good. And it does also look like it has a bit of Remedy to it. It really does. I can kind of tell it has like a little bit of like, it's a little out there. You know what I mean? So.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%. And then after this, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying, looking forward to it for sure.
Oh yeah, me too. And then they dropped the big reveal that everybody knew about. Fable. What'd you guys think? I love that trailer. I thought that trailer was right on point for what Fable is exactly supposed to represent. And I like the way it looked too, man. It looked pretty good. Maiden, what'd you think?
Oh, I was so excited. Fable is a big love for me. I've always loved the Fable games. I've played all of them, and